All right, aflatoxins are poisonous carcinogens that are regularly found in properly stored staple commodities such as cassava, chili peppers, cottonseed, millet, and a variety of spices. When contaminated food is processed, aflatoxins enter the general food supply, where they have been found in both pet and human foods, as well as feedstocks for agricultural animals. They have been said to cause liver damage and cancer in humans, and have been pointed at as being responsible for the disappearance of the groundnut pyramids in the north. Let's now talk to Dr. Tuyi Mebawondu in the studio here. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, let's be a little clear about this. Is it all kinds of crops that these poisonous aflatoxin affects?
Well, not all kind of crops. Essentially, the cereals are the main targets. Of course, aflatoxin is produced by a kind of fungi, that grows on those food, and then leads to release of those aflatoxin, which are actually, toxic chemicals in those millets. Now, it becomes very important for us to think about this. Definitely, we know in Nigeria we have a lot of things we're bothering with. We're just talking about fuel now, we're talking about light, we're talking about all sorts of things. But again, at the same time, we cannot neglect our health. I just want to point out how important this issue of aflatoxin is. Now, key things, our strategic food reserve is based on grains. Either corn or granules or similar thing. And then secondly, because of the health effects of aflatoxin, especially in relation to growth of children and response to immunization, it becomes important for us to talk about it. Thirdly, because we're having, a kind of triple whammy here, we have immunodepression in general population, we have hepatitis infection of the virus, and then now we're having aflatoxin that can also damage the liver.
And we hear that it takes about 5,000 lives on a yearly basis.
Absolutely. We have seen an outbreak of aflatoxin in the past. In 1974-75, it happened in India. In 1981, it happened in Kenya. In 2005, it happened in Kenya. So again, the outbreak where we see quite a large number of people and animals and pets having an acute toxicity of aflatoxin. So it becomes important that we need to talk about it, because again, the prevention can start from us. It's a key step that we can do and be cautious of what we take into our system, so that, we don't then fall sick and end up where there are no doctors or where you don't have access to medical care.
But again, it becomes difficult. How do you determine which foods, have been contaminated, with aflatoxin? Again,
the detection is at the level, definitely at the level of laboratory again. But for us, we can start looking at food. For instance, we used to eating peanuts or granules a lot. And, most of this mold grows inside the granules. And then we used to eat a lot of maize, and then most of them grow instead. And we can easily see the one with molds and then avoid them, as it were. Then it's usually better for us to eat our food fresh. But the prevention is actually from the level of the growth of those crops. At the level of agricultural system, where you have to see how to really eliminate those aflatoxin from the crops. It's very difficult. Heat cannot kill them. You have to get as high as 270-something degrees centigrade for you to be able to eliminate aflatoxin. They're very, very stubborn organisms, as it were. If you wash and boil, you cannot get rid of them.
Okay. Now we understand that it was responsible for the disappearance of the groundnut, the revered groundnut in the pyramid of the northern region. How established that is, we cannot really say, but that's what we have in the public domain. But since then, and those that we export our products to, were the ones who eventually determined that, look, we have this disease, this poisonous mold in these products you are bringing in, and so we can't take them anymore. What have we done, since then to ensure that this does not happen anymore? You think enough has been done?
You see, it's question. Again, if enough has been done, we won't be talking about it as it is now. because essentially we are now moving to an agrarian kind of economy where we want to grow a lot of things and export them. But people will have to check all these things for all different types of poisons and toxins, like mycotoxin, aflatoxins, for instance. So now, if we don't do something about it, and I can tell you that we're not doing much about it, because again, we have so humongous problems in terms of agricultural thing, in terms of health, in terms of social issue, so humongous problem that government itself is actually crippled. But what can happen is for people to really start coming and focusing on specific areas, because once you be able to reduce this aflatoxin from the food, it can allow people to export them. One. Two, it will enhance the immunization of children, because if they are poisoned with aflatoxin, the effectiveness of immunization will be reduced. The growth of children will be stunted if they are poisoned with aflatoxin. We see a lot of cancers, coming from this aflatoxin, and poisoning of the liver, of the kidney, of the heart. Sometimes it has been found in the brain. So again, we do a lot, if we can really step up our action in terms of reducing the amount of aflatoxin contaminated our series.
All right, Dr. Tuyi Mebawondu, as always, we thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts with us.
My pleasure, always.
All right. And that's the news this hour. Many thanks indeed for watching. For further details, visit our website, tvcnews.tv. You can also interact with us across all other social media platforms using the handle @TVCNewsNG. I am Ikechukwu Obienu. Bye-bye now.